In last week's episode, we discussed the technique of sprint writing to help us improve our ability to produce more work efficiently, and also as one of many solutions to writer's block. Something that I've seen combined with sprint writing is the idea of immersive writing. Simply, immersive writing is when you try to turn your surroundings and writing environment into something similar to that which you are writing about. For example, if I'm writing about a river, to write more immersively, I would go and write next to an actual river. The benefits of doing this are immediately obvious. By bringing our actual reality closer to the topic of our book, we can better understand the nuances and details of said environment, and thus make our story and novel more realistic and representative of what we're trying to imitate. You are attempting to live the life of your character, to comprehend at a more fundamental level what they would be seeing, hearing, feeling, thinking, and experiencing. All of this is invaluable for a writer to create a vivid and intricate world that will immerse our readers in the story, as well as enabling you to focus more intently on that vision you have in mind. While the benefits of this are clear, the limitations are also apparent after a quick thought. If you're writing about a frozen mountaintop, a fantasy world, or another planet, then the chance that you'll be able to access that is limited, if not impossible. So what ways can we immerse ourselves in something more fictional? Or something that we don't have the immediate opportunity, time, money, or ability to experience ourselves? Well, today I want to give you some options on how to increase your immersive writing experience, in the hopes that it will help you focus more and produce something more authentic. We've already mentioned one way, but it should be said again in slightly more detail. There is no substitute for the real thing. If you want to write about a forest, nothing will give you more insight than going to a forest. If you want to write about another culture, then the place where that culture is prevalent is the best location for you to learn how to be respectful and authentic in your story. As writers, we have to draw from what we know, so the more you know, the more you experience, and the more you put yourself out there, meet new people, see new sights, and hear new sounds, then the better your representation of the thing will be. From my own experience, the best writing I've ever done has come while I've been immersed in French, Japanese, Vietnamese, or British culture as I'm writing about those very places. Of course, you may not have the opportunity to do that. You may not have the time or the money or even access to the natural places that you want to write about. Or your story is fictional and can only be travelled to in your mind. Well, that's where we can get a bit creative and try to create as immersive an environment as possible. Music is a great and easy first step here. If you're writing about space, then put on some sci-fi ambience music as you write to help you zone in. Listen to lutes and harps if you're writing about the medieval age, or surround yourself with ocean sounds if your story takes place on a beach. I've found that combining both ambient background noises with thematically appropriate music helps a lot when I'm writing about places I can't get to. Putting on a pair of headphones with related music and sounds is a fast, easy and cheap way to immerse yourself more in the story and try to imagine what your character is going through and feeling. The beauty of using music in this way is that you can find lots of variations that pivot on a theme, such as fantasy, but do so in many different ways, such as dark fantasy or high fantasy. The tones of soundtracks from Game of Thrones, The Lord of the Rings, or Harry Potter are all different and can stir different feelings in you. Music gives you great flexibility to produce writing with varied tones and impact. As we've discussed before, just make sure you don't let the sad music trick you into thinking your writing is sad too. You may emotionally feel this way, but always review music-written work afterwards to check if you've got the tone right. Similarly, watching videos of people in these places can be a very useful and productive activity that can help improve your immersion. Listening to people's stories, their experiences and interviews can be a great way of learning more about the details and intricacies of that world. Read ancient manuscripts, listen to astronauts talk about space travel, watch walking tours of Kyoto, or follow rangers on a patrol in the Amazon. The internet gives us a wealth of access to places that were inaccessible to most of us before. It's never going to be as good as the real thing, but doing so will be better than nothing, and at least lends an ounce of authenticity to your own description and depictions. It's a light form of research, but having these on in the background or using them as pre-writing zoning practice can be very useful for your immersion. In the future, I will be releasing videos incorporating sprint writing with different immersive styles. For now, I highly recommend checking out Abby Emmons' channel, where she has lots of great immersive writing videos that will help you get the hang of their technique and show you some amazing examples. For now though, just remember that zoning in, using some immersive music, watching interviews or videos can really help your writing improve. But as always, remember that going out and about and experiencing the real things is the best. That maybe the best stories are at your doorstep and you don't need to travel to distant lands in order to find the perfect inspiration. Quite often, it's just outside your door. So take the chance, go outside, and find that way to immerse yourself in the book you never knew you wanted to write.